2019 Brightest, an absolute fabulous movie. I've already given you guys my top 10 favorite films of the year. It's time to give you guys my top 6 least favorite films of 2019. I wasn't going to make this video, but there was just some 6 films I was just like, ugh, I need to talk about. But before I give you guys that, first of all, happy 2020. I hope you guys had a fantastic last year, and I hope this year will be even greater for you. And secondly, these are not reviews for these films. Some of these I didn't get to review. Most of these I didn't get to. I think out of all of them, I only got to review one. So I guess I'll give you guys my quick little thoughts and give you guys your top 6, top 10, top 55 or whatever least favorite films of 2019. There were some great films of this year, but there's also some terrible films. So let's get started with number 6. This film is still bad, but I think out of all of them, the film I would probably want to watch again the most, maybe. The coming in at number 6 is Captain Marvel. Now, I don't think this movie is good. I think it's actually a pretty bad movie. It's a disappointing film. But out of all these films, I think it's the one I would probably want to watch again, because I think Samuel L. Jackson's fantastic as Nick Fury. There's some okay action, and I think the Skrulls are pretty good. But the story is terrible. I think Brie Larson is not a good choice for Captain Marvel. And I think, and this is really my true opinion, that this movie should not have been made. It feels like a fill-in movie. Like, oh wait, she's going to be in Endgame, so we got to have this film to just kind of fill in the gaps. And oh boy, it doesn't work. Most of the action is typical, bland, stereotypical action. The final CGI battle is horrible. I think it's terrible CGI. Some of the green screen is bad. There's only 1 or 2 jokes that actually land. This feels like a Phase 1 movie. It's tamed, it's bland, it's boring. There's a lot of sequences that I just found to be terrible. And oh my goodness, this movie, whatever. Coming in at number 5 is a movie that I was just like, why? Coming in at number 5 is going to be Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I know a lot of people absolutely either love this film or hate this film. I don't really care for it that much. I've seen it twice now, and it just falls flat every single video. I like the first Maleficent from 2013. I don't hate it. I think it's a really good movie, but I think a lot of people thought this was going to be something different. I found a lot of people think this was going to be... A lot of people like this film, and I'm just like... Angelina Jolie's good. There's some good ideas, but the villain is over the top, and the action sequences... I'm not saying they're bad, but they're terribly edited because this movie's PG. This movie should have been PG-13. It should have been like 20 minutes longer to get this movie's plot out, because this movie's plot is jumbled, crowded, and does not know what it wants to be. This movie is so odd and it's okay. This movie has too many different plots going on. It's a terribly paced movie. It's boring in most of the parts. And the best part, as I said, is Angelina Jolie is Maleficent, but she just disappears for half the film. It's basically a Sleeping Beauty movie. And even her plotline with Philip is not even that good. It's a horrible plotline, and this movie is terrible, in my opinion. It's okay. There's some redeeming qualities. Will I watch it again? Maybe. I've seen it twice, and I think that's good enough for me. I probably wouldn't want to watch this film again, but if I was forced, I think I could get through this film pretty easily. But oh boy, this movie is still terrible. It's still terrible. But let's get in to number 4. My number 4 pick is going to be a movie that's just like, why? Why did they make this movie? Why is this movie a thing? Coming in at number 4... It's going to be Frozen 2. I thought the first Frozen was fine. And this movie is pretty bad. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's horrifically terrible. The animation is the best part of this movie. There's some good animation in the movie, but other than that, it's terrible. It's a horrible movie. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Why is this movie so bad? This movie doesn't have a main villain, which is strange for Disney. The songs, I think, are horrendously terrible. It's like they filmed the movie, made the story, and were like, oh wait, this movie has songs in it, so we gotta add songs that make no sense in the story. Elsa's two, light Let It Goes, I think, are terrible. They don't sound good. The singing is the best part of this film in the songs, because they sing the songs good, but that doesn't mean the songs are good. The story is all over the place. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's strangely tonal problem. Sometimes it's darker than the first. Sometimes it's lighthearted. It doesn't know what it wants to be. They make a choice in the film. I was like, that's a good choice. Keep with it. And they just change it because Disney doesn't really know what they want to do sometimes with their movies. I don't hate the first Frozen. And Olaf, which I thought was fine in the first, is overused. You know how I know a character is overused? Which, first of all, he has 2 songs in this film. 2. 2 of them are just awful. And also, they meet these people in the woods, and he narrates the first film for them. R2-D2 Return of the Jedi style. Why? Seriously, why? Why? Disney, if you're watching this, I like your movies occasionally, but do not make a Frozen 3. Please, I beg of you, do not make it. This movie made a lot of money. Kind of. Oh. That's why it's coming. It's coming out at number 4, though, because there is some good animation, and the characters are likable enough. Coming in at number 3. This pains me to put it this, because I wanted this film to be on my top 10 favorite films of all time. But coming in at number 3, I have Dark Phoenix. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The last in the Fox-produced X-Men films, we get this. It should have ended with Logan. I'm just putting that out there. Logan was a perfect send-off for the X-Men franchise. Not just for Logan as a character, but for the franchise. But no. The person that messed up the Phoenix Saga and X-Men Last Stand wrote X-Men Last Stand. He wrote this film, but he also directed this film. What did you think was going to change? The man who messed it up in the first place, you think is just going to somehow fix it? The movie is tonal problems. It either is a horror film, it's an action movie, it's a romance, it's a comedy. It doesn't know what it wants to be. The acting in the film, I think, is horrible. Kind of. There's some good stuff. I think Charles and Eric are fantastic in this movie. But oh my goodness, Jean Grey in this movie is absolutely horrible as a character. She's just cries and whines and screams for half this film, which is just obnoxious. The action sequences are sometimes fine. The train sequence, I think, is fine, but it goes on for far too long. They don't use the main X-Men theme in this film. It's not even called X-Men Dark Phoenix. It's just called Dark Phoenix. They think they're somehow cool and all. Every X-Men movie besides Logan and the Wolverine, but those are like side films. But all the X-Men movies in the main X-Men have you X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse. But no, Dark Phoenix just uses Dark Phoenix, but they put a little X. And I'm like, what do you think you're going to do? There's some redeeming qualities. As I said, some of the performances are fine. Some of the action scenes are fine. But the villain is horrible. Literally terrible. The worst villain, I think, of 2019. A terrible film. Would I watch it again? Fine, sure. If I was forced, fine. But would I want to watch it again? Oh, boy, no. Oh, boy, no. Before I give you guys my top 2, please let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Let's have a live discussion about your top, whatever, your least favorite films of the year. I know Terminator Dark Fate's going to be on there. I didn't hate Terminator Dark Fate. But these last 2 films I hate more. Coming in at number 2, I got a film that I wanted to be fine. I wanted to at least sit back and be like, that's a kid's film. The Addams Family. The Addams Family. Once I saw the beginning of this film, I was like, okay. okay, this could be interesting, but it's garbage. It's garbage. Do not see this movie. It's complete trash. Do not see this film. It's trash. It's not good. It's a terrible movie. It's, oh my goodness, the animation style is from like 2001. It's not good animation. I can't believe people think this is the best animated film of the year. I would either go that to the Lego Movie, How to Train Your Dragon 3, has way better animation than this film. Who thought this was a good idea? To remake the Addams Family in live action. They have a good cast, but the cast has nothing to do in this film. The cast has nothing. They have nothing to work with. They have nothing to work with in this movie. And I didn't find this movie funny. When it's dark and depressing, I think it's fine. The villain, the villain I find one of the worst animated villains of this last decade. I'm gonna be honest. She's a stereotypical. I can't even say the word. She's a stereotypical villain that is boring, bland. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The plot is absolutely stupid. The movie is dumb. The humor doesn't work. The final fight scene or like final act of this film, I find atrocious. And then she ends up turning into a good guy at the end. What? What is this? Oh my goodness. What makes this film not number one is because this film is technically decently well made, but I think I would kind of rather watch my number one pick, but it's technically worse made. So let's get into my least favorite film of 2019 is 47 Meters Down Uncaged. I like shark movies. Jaws is in my top 3 favorite films of all time. I love shark movies when they're done right. Jaws, fantastic. Shallow's pretty good. Deep Blue Sea, a guilty pleasure. The Meg is also pretty good. But 47 Meters Down, the first one, I find was really bad. This one makes 47 Meters Down kind of look like a decent movie. This movie's horrible. Was I expecting a good movie? No, I wasn't. But I was at least expecting a fun thriller with some good shark scenes. But you don't even get that. The movie, once again, like the first one, is overused with jump scares. After jump scare, I'm like, it gets annoying. It's after a while, after the first 50 times a shark, the sound goes out, you're in and out, then you know a jump scare is going to happen. I could absolutely predict every single time. I saw this with my sister, and I was like, she was sitting next to her, and I was like, a jump scare is about to happen. In 3, 2, 1, and exactly what happened. They're predictable. This film is predictable. The characters are absolutely horrible. I don't know who thought these, you want to make good main characters? Let's not make them likable, interesting, or somewhat relatable. That makes good characters, right? No, it does not. Please stop making 47 Meters Down movies. They're horrible. They're terrible. They're some of the worst shark movies of the last decade. They're terrible. Don't say any of these films, but at least see, out of the films, I would recommend kind of Captain Marvel, Maleficent, and Frozen 2. And maybe Dark Phoenix. Kind of. But don't see Addams Family, and definitely don't see 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Is there any good parts? These sharks are blind. That kind of makes for an interesting concept, but also makes, I guess, I know why the sharks are blind. I know exactly why. Because in the first one, these sharks were perfectly be able to see. But they couldn't even bite anyone. So they're like, oh wait, they can't bite anyone in the first one, so let's make them blind so we have an excuse. I could go on for hours, but I think I'm just going to shove this video off here because don't see any of these films. That was my top 10, not top 10, top 6 least favorite films of 2019. I don't usually get this crazy, but these films are horrible. These films are the worst. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope 2020 is a better year for me and for this channel than 2019. Because 2019 to me, some good stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did like this video, you guys can hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. That really does help out this channel a ton. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.